What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Bureau Trading, back at it again with another crypto market update. Today we've got Solana, Sui, and Aptos. I'm sure you're all wondering what's going on with these cryptos. Why are they pumping? Why are they crashing? How high or low are they going to go? If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. Before we get started, guys, do keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal analysis of these cryptos. Your analysis could be different, and honestly, guys, if it is, that's awesome. The more difference of opinion we have, the better traders, the better investors we're all going to become. So with that being said, guys, let's jump straight into it. The thing that caught my eye with Solana here, and part of the reason why it was so resilient during the recent downturn, is because Solana's now trying to angle itself towards real world assets. And it's a little bit of, I guess, of a rabbit hole there, because you could make the argument that stablecoins count as real world assets. Lots of RWA people say that, and it's not coming from me. It's you listen to interviews with people like the founder of Ondo Finance. They all consider stablecoins to be part of RWAs. But in any case, guys, Solana is definitely trying to position itself there. If you've been keeping up with my updates here, you'll know that other cryptos like Algorand have also been basically saying, hey, we're also part of RWAs. It really seems like there's going to be a big RWA related announcement coming out. And if you've been keeping up with my coverage, you'll know that there's a big event from Ondo Finance this Thursday. And there actually seem to be quite a few catalysts this Thursday, like Barachain is launching. Some other cryptos are going to be airdropping tokens. So it looks like there's a lot of stuff kind of coalescing around Thursday. So I would expect that this is when we'll see some recovery in the markets, especially in altcoins. In the absence of any new catalysts, then they're probably just going to continue chopping as they have been, after this initial dip, which of course brings me to the chart here, guys. So it's pretty crazy actually with Sol. You can see that and we're on the daily chart here, by the way, as always, guys. You can see that Sol actually fell temporarily below the support level because of liquidations. It fell all the way back down to that starting point of around $180, which is pretty crazy. But of course, you can see by this long wick that tells you that a lot of people were buying that dip. And of course, Sol is back up at the support level around $200. And those of you who've been keeping up with my updates will know that this chart hasn't really changed over the last few weeks. I haven't changed this chart at all. So it's nice to see that these levels have been holding. As I mentioned yesterday, any price action between this starting point and resistance range is normal. And of course, lots of cryptos have been chopping in this range, including Solana. Occasionally it did get over, and I think I was even mentioning last week or the week prior that it's possible that Sol had basically hit this $300 target as it had rallied all the way up to like $297. So it's possible that it hit that target, but that doesn't mean it's over, guys. I do think that Sol's going to be heading higher again. I do think it's going to take another run at that target and go even higher. And in terms of the catalyst, some of you may know that I was hoping that yesterday's press conference related to crypto would be the catalyst for that. Unfortunately, it was not. So it looks like we're going to have to wait and see, I guess, until Thursday to see if the Thursday catalyst will help out, and if not, the unemployment print coming this Friday, if it comes in, in accordance with market expectations, or let's just say positively, then that could also cause a rally in crypto, and of course that would really help altcoins as well. With that being said, guys, you might have noticed we're using Binance there. We have a 20% trading fee discount there with up to $600 in bonuses. These deals are completely free, and these trading fee discounts will help you out a lot. Even if you're not trading with a lot of money, if you're just trading frequently, these deals will help a lot. I know that from experience. The exchange gets a new user, you get a cut of, or you get a trading fee discount, and we get a cut of those trading fees, which is how we make our money. We're not sponsored by Ethereum or Cardano or XRP or any of these projects. We don't care what crypto you like, so long as you're interested in buying, selling, or trading. We're here to basically give you the tools to do that, and that's how we make our money. And of course, the Coin Bureau Club, which I'll get to later. With that being said, this is where things get interesting, at least in my opinion. Sui just announced that they had basically added wrapped Bitcoin to their network. This is also another rabbit hole, which I don't want to ramble on too much about. But the really interesting thing is, guys, is that if you think about it, Bitcoin is like the best form of collateral you can have in crypto. But the problem is, of course, that Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts, and it's not really easy to get Bitcoin on other chains. And of course, we have all these different forms of wrapped Bitcoin and so on, and all these different Bitcoin bridges and stuff like that. And what you're kind of seeing is that, especially especially with how much Bitcoin has been dominating in terms of market cap and resilience and everything. You're seeing more and more crypto projects understanding that, hey, like one way that we can help grow our total value locked in this case, or grow activity on our network, is to support Bitcoin, various forms of rat Bitcoin. I guess they're calling it BTC Fi or Bitcoin DeFi, or whatever you want to call it. But I do find it very interesting that Sui is adding wrap Bitcoin, particularly because, of course, wrap Bitcoin is also being held by Donald Trump via World Liberty Financial. Wrap Bitcoin is, of course, the largest form of wrap Bitcoin for the time being, WBTC rather. So this is very interesting to me, especially because Sui's total value locked has been kind of chopping sideways over the last couple of weeks. So I do think that they're trying to boost that, and it looks like this could happen with wrap Bitcoin, and especially when you consider that Sui is arguably kind of more offshore, more affiliated with these entities that have lots of Bitcoin. I could see the Sui blockchain benefiting from that, like wrap Bitcoin being used in different DeFi protocols on Sui, and then basically people borrowing against their Bitcoin to buy altcoins in Sui's ecosystem as well as Sui's itself. Obviously, that's not going to happen overnight, but it's something that we see everywhere. It's part of why Ethereum does so well, is because it hasn't done well now, but this part of why altcoins rally and why Ethereum, as an ecosystem, does so well, is because it's easy to use ETH and Bitcoin as collateral in like DeFi protocols like Aave to borrow against and speculate on stablecoins and stuff like that. Yeah, anyways, guys, that brings me to the chart here, and similarly to Solana, we basically saw Sui, of course, get a really nice leverage liquidation all the way back down to the starting point, but of course it did recover and is now back at support somewhere around $3.5. But that was a pretty scary move. But this support level, for all intents and purposes, did hold. Just like with Sol, just like with other cryptos I covered yesterday, it's going to be normal for Sui to kind of chop within this range. Of course, it's been towards the upper end of that range, which is awesome, and I do think that Sui is going to continue heading higher here in the coming weeks. And I know that here, I'm sure this is going to become a thing in the comments. It's like, oh, I'm sure you're going to say it's heading higher in the coming weeks, but I mean, it's true, guys. Like, the crypto market is still in a bullish trend, and we just have to be patient and wait for all these targets to be hit. And of course, as I've been mentioning in every video, if you're trading these cryptos, you need to wait until they get above this resistance level before going long, and of course to have this support as your stop loss, so that you don't get completely wrecked when something like this happens, which can happen in crypto. Anyways, guys, that brings me over now to Aptos, and this is where things get truly interesting. Everyone seems to have completely missed the fact that Circle launched native USDC on Aptos, and Aptos also announced that soon this native USDC will be available through Coinbase, which is pretty big. For those of you who don't know, PayPal actually invested in Aptos. Aptos seems to have very close connections to the Trump administration, via PayPal and like this kind of like PayPal mafia group. But of course, the APT coin has not been doing very well, and I do think that as a result of this, I guess this is part of why there seems to have been a leadership shakeup late last year, and because the coin was underperforming. Basically from all these insiders selling, which I'll show you in a second. But I do think that Aptos, of all these three cryptos, I've been saying it now for weeks, I think Aptos is the most upside potential in percentage terms at this point, just because it's so beaten down. The sentiment around it is just so bad. And even according to my own analysis here, guys, like Aptos is just looking horrendous. Like I don't understand how it's possible that it was basically able to completely collapse below the starting point. But then on second thought, it actually does, I don't want to say makes a little bit of sense, but if you actually look at Aptos through the lens of market cap here, I'm on Coin Market Cap, you can see that even though the price in fiat terms has basically been completely collapsing, Aptos is still in an uptrend, at least in terms of market cap, which, you might be saying, oh, you're grasping at straws here. But the fact of the matter is, guys, that the value of Aptos as an asset, even though the price tag has gone down, the value in terms of its actual, its total value has actually been, again, continues to be in an uptrend. If we look at this past price action here from last spring, it was kind of like this, big rally and then a big dump. We basically saw the same thing here in the fall of last year. And the kind of silver lining there is that this dump seems to be over. The dump phase of this thing seems to be over, and we should see hopefully Aptos like consolidating around this range the same way that it did here just before that rally in the fall. Hopefully it'll chop around this range before moving higher, which again is just it's really disappointing, especially someone who's holding Aptos. I think Aptos is officially below the level I entered over the summer, but I'm not, I'm really not too stressed out, guys. Like it's a really interesting crypto project. The fundamentals of the on-chain stuff is looking really really good. The number of active wallets is rising. The amount of stable coins on Aptos is rising even more than on Sui. It's literally going parabolic. So all the fundamentals are kind of lining up there, and a lot of this, I think, a lot of this crash is due, well, probably potentially continued selling from insiders to some extent, but I do think it's mostly due to the fact that the sentiment around Aptos is just so bad. Anyone who was still holding has probably completely puked their position, and you basically it's less so a story of supply and more so a fact that there isn't that much demand for APT at this stage, and I do think that that's why it's just underperformed so brutally. But I do think that this is something that's going to change. I still think this $20 target is going to be hit. That's not my cycle top target. That's just my target for the next few weeks, which of course I've been eyeing for a while here. It's unfortunate that APT, got completely wrecked after it touched this resistance. But again, I guess that just comes to show you really need to be, watching these different levels here and hedging your bets, let's say, and making sure that when it falls below the support level that you're out of the market, because otherwise it could just keep going down and you'll get completely wrecked. Anyways, guys, with that being said, I need to shill the Coin Bureau Club as always. That's where we do deep dives into promising small cap altcoins every single week. The way that we pick those altcoins is we do a weekly altcoin review poll. The way we pick the altcoins in the poll is basically a combination of our research and the suggestions of our Coin Bureau Club members. We have a research feed where we're sharing insights about the crypto market every single day, and that's kind of the kind of content that I'm sharing at the end of these videos, like the alpha that I'm sharing. We showcase our personal crypto portfolios as well as the cryptos that we're watching. We have an exclusive deals page where you can find discounts on like crypto analytics platforms and stuff like that. And of course, we have a members Discord where you can discuss things with us and where I'm doing technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and select altcoins every single day. So of course, this brings me to today's alpha. And this is something actually I'm still in the process of kind of wrapping my head around. For those of you who don't know, yesterday there was a press conference about crypto that was kind of basically David Sachs, which is like Trump's AI slash crypto czar or whatever you want to, whatever title you want to assign to him. But he basically did a press conference with all these pro crypto politicians, and they basically announced that there's going to be a new stablecoin bill and a new crypto market bill that's going to be tabled. I think on the one hand, this was potentially a little bit bearish for the crypto market because it basically meant that these existing bills would be set aside, and it was kind of this feeling that the crypto industry is starting from basically from square one in Congress. But the thing that I actually missed, and I actually had to update my post that I did about this or I guess like a couple hours ago, is that Senator Bill Haggerty has already proposed the updated stablecoin bill. Like, it's already been tabled. I believe it was actually done before the press conference was even announced. So I guess now we're just waiting for an altcoin specific, like a crypto market specific bill. It's possible that might take a little bit of time because that's probably going to require a little bit more input from like the likes of like the SEC and CFTC, which seem to be working around the clock, to get all this crypto policy stuff out as quickly as possible. And just to show you guys here, this is an image I also shared in the Coin Bureau Club in the research feed today. This kind of shows you the number of pro-crypto politicians in the House and the Senate in Congress. And as you can see, guys, there's so many, like it's like a super majority, like as I was saying, if the Republican victory was a quote unquote landslide, then this is literally an avalanche. Like pro-crypto bills are going to have absolutely no problems passing the House and the Senate. So the moment that they're tabled, I do think that they'll fly through. And the one thing that I was really highlighting is that originally, and this is something I think I mentioned here in the videos as well, originally Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, had said that the Republicans were going to pass everything, that like all their policies would be put into one bill and they would try and pass it by Memorial Day. What really stuck out to me about yesterday's press conference is that they specified that this stablecoin bill and the crypto markets bill are going to be two separate bills that will be passed separately, essentially, from this huge omnibus bill that Mike Johnson was talking about. This is good because when you consider the composition of the House and Senate here, this tells me that these bills will fly through with zero restrictions. Like if they were included as part of some bigger bill that had all these other provisions, then maybe it would have a hard time passing the House and the Senate. But if it's just a pro-crypto bill, just a stablecoin bill, just a crypto markets bill with minimal additional provisions, I'm sure maybe some politicians will try to stuff stuff in there. But basically there's going to be a lot less resistance, and I do think those bills will pass very quickly. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if in the next couple of weeks we have these bills being passed. But of course, I do think that the crypto market's going to start pricing a lot of that in the moment that those bills get tabled. Again, it seems that only the stablecoin bill has been tabled for now, and hopefully in the coming days here, we will get the actual crypto market structure bill tabled. And if that does happen, I do expect that the crypto will perk up, especially altcoins. So yeah, guys, as I've been saying, I guess now for a while, I think it's been a few weeks, possibly even a few months at this stage. We just have to be patient with the crypto market. The fact of the matter is that crypto is still in a bullish long-term uptrend. The president of the United States is buying Ethereum. He's launching a DeFi protocol on Ethereum. Uh, like all these top people in his administration are all like Solana holders and crypto investors, and like the crypto industry was the biggest sponsor. And you just look at the composition of the House and the Senate, and there's just so many, like, come on, guys. And it's just crazy to me that people are saying, yeah, it's bearish, or yeah, there's too many altcoins, or yeah, like whatever excuse, that under the sun, to say that no, like this means that the crypto market's not going to do as well, when we're about to see, and this is something I've been highlighting for a while now, we're about to see structural changes to the crypto market that will be extremely bullish for crypto, and especially for altcoins, given that the main reason why altcoins have kind of been struggling, at least like over, I would say, like relative to Bitcoin, is that there hasn't been this regulatory clarity. Like that clarity has just not been there. But imagine what's going to happen when that regulatory clarity finally comes after God knows how many years. I do think it's going to have a profound effect that a lot of people are underpricing. And it's, cryptos like Solana, Sui, and even Aptos. Like these are the types of cryptos that are going to benefit the most, because they are perfectly positioned to capitalize on these regulatory changes. And again, it's just something that people are just, I think, completely ignoring, and they're just focused on, like, meme coins and whatever else, and thinking that what's happening today is how the crypto market's going to be forever. But as I've been saying, guys, and you really need to remember this: forget about what's happening today, forget about all these liquidations and that the crypto prices are down today. Ask yourself what's going to come tomorrow. Statistically speaking, in a week from now, and in a couple weeks from now, in a month from now, is crypto going to be higher or lower than where it is now, especially given how much it's fallen, especially given how much these altcoins have fallen, right? Do you think they're going to be even lower than they are now, or do you think that they're going to continue slowly grinding higher, with these kind of pumps and dumps in between? I would say that in a worst case scenario, that's what we're going to get, right? So just keep that in mind, on the history of crypto's growth, in the history of crypto cycle, this is going to be a very big year. We're, 1 month into it, so we just need to be patient and just hold on to our bags. Anyways, guys, if you did make it this far, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.